Kindred on a big building project. That's a good thought. Add a little more. That's it. Many people liked Eustace Conway as a cast member on Mountain Men, but despite what most people thought, fame had caused him more problems than good luck. Was everything just a rumor? What's the deal with the TV show? Eustace has come forward to say that the stories are true. This news is way beyond anything you could have imagined, so take a seat and let us walk you through it. Making the story. We need to learn more about Eustace Conway before we look into the Mountain Men tales and story. E. Robinson Conway was an American scientist, and Elizabeth Gilbert wrote a book about him called The Last American Man. Sarah Vowell learned about Eustace's fame and popularity, and chose to write about him in Adventures in the Simple Life. She also talked about him on the weekly radio show This American Life with Ira Glass. Eustace also owns the 1,000-acre Turtle Island Preserve in Boone, North Carolina. He was in an episode of the show Mountain Men, which eventually led to his death. I think it's important to look at his past first. Many people think that Eustace grew up in the woods, but that's not true. South Carolina is where he was born. This comes as a big surprise because Eustace doesn't act like he was born in Carolina. Besides that, he has 3 brothers. He first went into the woods when he was 17 years old. He felt like the modern world was too much for him and wanted something new and different. Conway left home to live in a tent in the woods in search of this. He wore clothes made from buckskin for many years after he left. During this time he gathered and made tools. Eustace was a really brave young man. His boat trip on the Mississippi River was 1,000 miles long by the time he was 18. Did you just say something? There's more. His next big goal was to walk across America on the Appalachian Trail, which he did, covering 2,000 miles. Along the southern coast of Alaska, he kayaked all the way along icebergs and whales. Records show that Eustace has hiked more than 5,000 miles of beautiful forest trails in North America, Central America, Australia, New Zealand, and Europe. These trails have been in everything from sandy deserts to lush jungles. Eustace was the man who history would remember. He loved living with different Indian groups. He shared their culture with everyone when he was with them and made sure they knew about it. Eustace has also worked as a government interpreter in New Mexico's Chaco Canyon National Park, and as a state naturalist in North Carolina's Crowder's Mountain Park. Many people thought Eustace was one of a kind as a scientist. He loved the whole world. He thought that the air, the land, and the natural world were enough gifts from God. This expert also didn't miss the sharp eyes of people who love animals. Sally Middleton was one of the women. The famous wildlife artist Sally Middleton told him on his 30th birthday, "You are the most interesting man I have ever met." This statement said a lot about Eustace's character. Eustace has always been the type to go after his goals and enjoy life to the best. Same as Thoreau. He went into the woods to see what it could teach him. He lived in the woods for over 40 years. He had his ups and downs, and he learned a lot from them all. One of these times was when he cut his thumb. Going to the hospital should have been the best choice for a man who was in a lot of pain, but he didn't do that. Instead, he used 12 stitches to sew it back together and plant medicine to fix it. Eustace was schooled, even though he loved being in the woods. This is another interesting fact about him. He went to Appalachian State University and was named the most outstanding anthropology senior after he graduated. He has a degree in both anthropology and English. Dr. Harvard Ayers, an anthropology professor at Appalachian State University, said that Eustace was a clear student of life to sum up all of his activities. When Eustace was in college, everyone knew that the nature class was his best. He liked it when it rained and was cold. He would smile and say things like, "I would rather wake up in the middle of nowhere than any city in the world." When he quotes Steve McQueen, it was more important to Eustace than anything else in the world that he loved his mountain ancestry. Wear it out, use it up, or do without it. When Eustace was writing a book about the culture of the Appalachian Mountains, he did something impossible. According to the records, he has built a very accurate farmstead with 9 very well-made log houses, using only the things that were found on the page. Eustace taught his mules, horses, and bulls how to pull wagons, sleds, logs, and seeds in the yard. Eustace also set a world record for the fastest horseback ride from the Atlantic Ocean to the Pacific Ocean in 103 days. After that, the New York Times, the Los Angeles Times, and the book Bud and Me all said that it took 60 days to ride a horse across North America. Bud and Temple Abernathy, who were 11 and 7 years old, are said to have made this trip. The two took a horseback trip from New York City to San Francisco, which was 3,609 miles long. In August 1911, they began their trip. Eustace did more than just break the world record. He also went 800 miles across the Carolinas in 21 days. He had a lot of faith in horsepower and loved to use it. He often said that cars can't have kids but horses can. Also, it was said that Eustace had started teaching environmental ethics a long time before it became popular. In the past, he said, Americans have cut themselves off from nature. It's been 80 years of progress, and now we're moving so quickly that it's like babies trying to run. He went on to say that we should take it easy and learn more about basic first values. It's more important than ever that we understand nature and live in peace with it. A dream is for man to be separate from nature. It wasn't a surprise to many when Eustace started to lean more toward the teaching line. Why? He was born into a family of teachers. Both of his parents and grandparents taught. His grandpa, Chief Johnson, started Camp Sequoia in 1924. He was a great American, and one of the founders of American camping. When he started the Turtle Island program, it was the start of what would become the Sequoia program. This program was very important to the growth and progress of the community. At Sequoia, Eustace's mom grew up in a log home with a big stone furnace for heat. She found herself in nature, and learned a lot about it while she was there. That wasn't all she did. She kept going to school, got her master's, and then she started teaching. Dr. Eustace Conway, her husband, is a professor of chemical engineering, and loves being outside. He was really into hiking and loved it. His record showed that he had hiked 50 miles of mountain tracks in one day. That's why Eustace was brave and hard to stop. It's in their genes. When Eustace was little, his dad would often take him with them. He loved everything he did. He got used to whitewater boat trips when he was only 4 years old. He also learned how important school was by spending time with his father. He automatically became interested in wanting to learn and teach as a result. Eustace found out everything and did it all. Turtle Island Preserve, on the other hand, was a career dream come true in 1987. He planned to create a center for teaching about the environment and a 1,000-acre wildlife refuge close to Boone, North Carolina. He built it, and he made sure that people fell in love with wildlife in the preserve. Emerson said, "What you do speaks so loudly that I cannot hear what you say." As a teacher, he loved to use this quote. Eustace said, "Just real became our motto and hard work focused and determined our daily mantra." This showed how important the Turtle Island Preserve was to him. Eustace's life was without a doubt lovely. He didn't know it, but fate had other plans for him, and they weren't so good. His problems started when he joined the TV show Mountain Men. The show, which was about his daily life doing chores and getting food ready for winter, almost destroyed his image and everything else he owned. Mountain Men. Mountain Men is an American reality TV show that debuted on May 31, 2012 on the History Channel. This show has become very famous because of the people who play the parts. There were mean reports, though, that the Mountain Men might not be as real as many people thought. Here are some facts about the cast members of Mountain Men that you should know before we go on. Eustace Conway is at the top of the list. In the Blue Ridge Mountains of North Carolina, Eustace lives on a piece of land that he calls Turkey Island. Eustace hosts people on the island and teaches them basic skills for staying alive in the wild. Mountain Men became one of the most watched TV shows thanks to his big impact. The other way Eustace makes money is by gathering firewood using old methods. It was fun for him and the people who watched. That was about to end, though, when his land was in danger, and he had to fight to keep it as his own. Not only Eustace but also his friend Preston Roberts joined and often appeared on the show. Someone else in the group is Marty Majorado. They live in the small Alaskan town of Two Rivers with their daughter Noah and his wife Dominique. Once a month Marty would fly his Piper Super Cub with Tundra tires to his home on the north slope of Alaska's Drangik River. He used a sled to take care of his animal traps, which he used to get furs whenever he was there. People watching were amazed and excited every time he did this. Tom Orr is another interesting group member. Tom used to be a horse cowboy. He lives with his wife Nancy and their dog Ellie near the Yak River in northwestern Montana. They had to deal with a 7-month winter along the way, but they worked hard to get ready for it. The people next door also helped them. Tom's life is different. He knows how to tan the furs of game animals very well, and he did this by using traditional American ways. On the other hand, Rich Lewis hunts mountain lions. Lewis, unlike some others, finds great pleasure in killing lions. He lives with his wife Diane in Montana's Ruby Valley. He went around with a pack of hounds to find mountain lions with a lot of emotion. The show got good numbers and a lot of attention because people liked seeing how excited and sweaty he was. He said that he was getting too old to chase after the lions during season 6, which was sad. He didn't join the show for season 7 because of this. George Michaud was there too. During the winter he camped along the Snake River and the Teton Range in Idaho. George had a hard life but he didn't mind. Charlie Tucker has also been added to the set. Tucker lives in Ashland, Maine near the Great Woods. He is also a fur hunter like George. He works together with Jim DeMond most of the time. Kyle Bell worked as a game shooter and guide. He doesn't trash the forest when he goes shooting. Instead he hunts on more than 45,000 acres of rough land.